Every time you open Zillow or Redfin, you think you're looking at houses, but you're not. You're being evaluated. Your clicks, your searches, the homes you linger on, all of that is being used to decide how valuable you are to the real estate system. And right now, some of the biggest tech companies on the planet are fighting over that data. Not because they want to help you buy a home, but because controlling home search means controlling who gets paid, who gets seen, and who gets priced out. Once you see that, you'll never open a home search app the same way again. So let's start with a stat that should immediately change how you think about this. More than 90% of home buyers start their search online, not with an agent, not with a builder, not by driving around neighborhoods, online. That first search, that very first click, is where the money is. Because in real estate, the search doesn't just lead to information, it leads to commissions. The average home price in the US is now over $400,000. A typical real estate transaction still involves a commission of about 5 to 6%. That means a single home sale can generate $20,000 to $30,000 just in fees. Now here's the part that most people don't realize. These platforms don't need most of that money. They just need access to the buyer, because a single home buyer lead can be worth $1,000 to $4,000 or more to an agent. And that's for each buyer before a home is ever purchased. Now pause on that for just a moment and think about it. You are not just browsing the internet for a home, you are a monetizable asset. This is why home search is so valuable. It's not like shopping for shoes or for a TV. It's one of the largest financial decisions a person will ever make, which makes the data around it incredibly powerful. Where you search, how often you search, which homes you save, what price makes you hesitate, when your behavior changes, that data doesn't just describe who you are. It predicts what you're going to do. So this is where Zillow comes in. Most people think Zillow is just a real estate website, but it's not. Zillow is a lead generation company. Its core business is not listings. Its core business is selling buyers to agents. That's the shocking part that most people using Zillow don't understand. Zillow doesn't make most of its money when homes sell. It makes money when you show intent. When you click, when you save, when you request information, agents pay Zillow to be placed in front of you at that exact moment. And here's the part that reframes everything. Multiple agents can pay for the same buyer, the same person. You are not Zillow's customer, you are Zillow's product. Once you understand that, Zillow's incentives become very clear. It doesn't matter if you find the perfect home. It matters that you keep searching. It matters that agents keep competing to reach you first. Zillow wins when attention stays fragmented and urgent. Now, Redfin, on the other hand, plays a different game. Redfin is not just a website. It's a brokerage. It employs agents. It uses technology to reduce costs, streamline transactions, etc. Redfin makes money only when the home sells. Zillow makes money when the search continues. These incentives make a huge difference because incentives shape outcomes. And then there's Google. As I mentioned in my previous video, Google is testing out new software using AI that could show homes in line in Google before you ever go to Zillow or Redfin or any of these websites. So this is where things become uncomfortable because Google already controls over 90% of global search, and nearly every home search starts on Google before it ever reaches Zillow or Redfin. Think about that. Homes for sale near me, best neighborhoods to live in, is now a good time to buy a house. Those are all searches that don't start on Zillow. They start on Google, which means Zillow and Redfin are not just competitors. They are also customers of Google. They pay Google for traffic. So Google sees every search, every click, and every location. And this is the most important line in the video. Google doesn't need to replace Zillow. It just needs to make Zillow optional. That's it. That's the threat. This is why Google entering a home search is so dangerous. Google already owns the top of the funnel. If Google surfaces listings directly, if Google is able to answer questions directly, or if Google decides which homes and agents are shown first, Zillow and Redfin lose their leverage overnight. Not because they disappear, but because they are no longer essential. What these companies are really fighting for is not listings. Listings are everywhere. They're fighting over your data, your search behavior, price sensitivity, location preferences, and other timing signals. Home search data is more valuable than social media data. Think about it. This predicts a massive financial decision in your life. And AI is able to make this data even more powerful. With enough data, platforms can predict when someone is ready to buy, when they are anxious, when they are likely to overpay. This is not theoretical. This is already happening. Think about when you're looking for a home and there are many offers on the property, especially in the past. You feel the urge to overpay for the house just because there's so much competition. And when you go to Zillow or Redfin, you get some of these insights immediately, like how many people are looking at this home, how popular is this home. These are all signals that these websites intentionally put out to make you feel that you need to move quickly if you want to buy. And this is why buying a home feels so stressful. You're not just competing with other buyers, you're competing with algorithms. Algorithms that decide which homes you see first, which agents contact you, how urgent everything feels. Two buyers in the exact same city could see completely different listings with Google. Different prices, different options, based entirely on your data. Now, this is where the system is quietly changing, because when platforms control discovery, they control outcomes, not directly, but subtly, through rankings and visibility. This is why the fight over home search is so intense right now, because whoever controls search controls the flow of money. Now, bring this back to yourself. What does this mean for someone trying to buy a home? It means the experience that you think is neutral no longer is. It means recommended doesn't always mean the best fit for you. It means urgency is often engineered. It means the stress you feel isn't accidental. It's all by design. So the future of home buying will not look like the past. Search will be centralized, discovery will be automated, pricing will be personalized. That doesn't mean buying a home will be impossible, but it does mean the rules are changing. And most buyers don't even know it. So when you hear that Zillow, Redfin, and Google are competing, understand what that really means. They are competing to decide who gets seen, who gets paid, who gets priced out. This isn't about better applications. It's all about power. And here's the main takeaway for you. Once you see home search as a business model and not a service, everything makes sense. The anxiety, the urgency, the feeling that the system is stacked, because it is. And so with all of those details and with that different outlook on what Zillow, Redfin, and these other applications really are doing and what they benefit from, I think it's going to be very important for you to be very careful when you're searching in the future, especially when Google rolls out this functionality to everyone. You've got to be very careful that you're not getting stuck into an algorithm-based decision versus a decision that you are making that's best for you. So if you thought this video was helpful, I'd appreciate it if you like the video, subscribe, and watch my other video about Zillow and what exactly they are doing to incorporate home listings into Google results. Thanks for watching. See you next time.